May's or May 16th to What's up guys, Steven Duxter. Welcome to my new weekly video recap. And today we're going to talk about one of my big gains on ABIL and some tickers that happened that didn't get shares to shore. I'm going to give my thought process. And if you got shares to shore or if you catch on the long side, I'm going to give you both side long and short process. So let's get into it. So ABIL gapped up on Wednesday and I thought it was a gap up short, but it turns out to be holding that $5-ish level really good. And the stock started flow rotation and started rotate twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. The more it rotates, the more it's favored on the long side. So if you see the flow start rotate and some micro flow, I would go in on a dip. But in this case on ABIL, I missed the entry. I should get in this breakout 560 and turns all the way into 850. So that's about 30% gain. And in this specific drop on from 735 to 650, right around here, I sense it's a short trap because in the morning shorts are already got caught in the 550-ish, got squeezed, and probably some people still holding since the shorts are shorting really close to each other. So the bottom shorts will push up the stock into the perk, and people who short into this panic got nervous and start covering as well. If shorts are really close to each other, we call that double layering of shorts. So if 2 layers are really close to each other, the bottom one will push the upper one will push the stock even higher. That's why it can be a potential short squeeze if you can see where people are shorted, and you can use that to counter strategy them to either go long or short. So I think I shorted right around here, covered into the breaking day highs, lost a couple bucks. And when the stock coming back down, I see this one crack, I shorted into this bounce, covered all the way in the 550s. I think that's my average cover. I thought it's gonna go to 450 today, and I was getting a little bit too greedy, but it turns out it's a little slow fading all day. But I would rather take my gains than giving the stock a chance, keep rebounces and covered at 650. So I grabbed my 40,000 gain. I think I locked 5,000 on Wednesday. I locked 38,000 today. So total profit on ABIL is around 43K. You can make money on both sides, long or short. I missed the entry on the float rotation on micro low flow stocks. On CTXR, this ticker had the news in the morning. Massive parabolic spikes, dropped exactly where it came from. Especially when you're chasing morning parabolics. Morning parabolics are really easy to fail. So please don't chase in 100% morning parabolic. That is really bad risk reward. Especially, it doesn't even matter if it's no flow or not. It's really easy because in the morning people are more emotional. They want to take their gains and leave. That's why most morning spike does not really hold, especially when they spike too far, like 100%, 200%. To short into it, it's also really difficult because you don't know where the resistance is. You can use that as your risk level, and those morning spikes can really easily bust through your resistance level, and you don't even have time to cover, and suddenly you realize the stock is at $5. So I recommend on those, if you're a beginner on those parabolic shorts, please be careful, start your size small. When the stock drops over 70% of its gain, it's not a dip buy anymore, it's potential short. So if people are thinking it's a higher low, because in the morning stock is already caught so much back orders, if it drops not much of the gain, people will sell into any spikes. That's how people mentally thinks. So if the stock drops too much, over 50%, I do not recommend to buy. And on statistics, it didn't show downfield results as well. On CLOW, it's a pump chart, will be on my watch for a few days. I think and give it a couple of days, you should have a dump like April to May 21st. So you have to wait for a couple of days, but will be on my watch list for next few days. CARV didn't trade that much volume. So if you're noticing the low flow are spiking and it doesn't trade that much volume, don't short into it because you can really easily get squeezed out of nowhere, something like from 5 to 750 really quick. and get dumped in after hours. So that's not worth it. You need liquidities to trade the stocks, especially on low flow stocks, because it doesn't take them much shares for them to drop 50 cents or 10%, 20%. And that is the rule of trading. And especially in day trading, liquidity is the most important thing in day trading or swing trading as well. Swing trading doesn't really matter liquidity that much. Also, as long as you have a really good entry and heavy resistance, then you're good. But when you're shorting to spikes on really low volume, I do not recommend, because they can either break your resistance really easy or they can dump you really hard. So go long or go short is not good enough. So I'm really happy about my ABIL gain today. For the last couple of weeks, the stock market has been really boring. So all you need to do is to find the right setups. I see a lot of people making boring trades. They make small mistakes and they add, become bigger mistakes. That's where they take a huge loss, especially examples like AWX, GBR. All you need to do is to be patient, because especially on the first spiker after a long, boring time period, and people going short really aggressive. If they go aggressive, there's more short squeezes, and if there's more long on micro flow stocks, it's gonna spike higher. So try to tend to avoid on the first green day after a really boring market. Just be patient. Wait until the market come back, and you will be good to go. I think that will be my thought process for this week, and I hope it's helpful. Thank you very much. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.